Okay, folks, welcome today. This is incredibly exciting. I could hardly sleep last night waiting for today. Frankfort's on the move. We are on the move, and we are making a great comeback. And I know that because of the young people that are standing around me. I can't wait for one of them to take my job one day. I cannot wait. These young people are an amazing group of leaders. We meet regularly. I have learned so much from them. They care about this city, and they're a product of our school corporation. So for all of our teachers and leaders in the schools, you're doing a fine job. To the parents of these young people, I want you to know that you have some of the most respectful, driven, integrity-filled young people in your house. You did a great job raising them. They are a reflection of you, and I appreciate that so much. So at this time, as we begin the ceremony here for the change of our downtown and revitalization of Frankfort, I'm going to hand it over to the president of the Frankfort Future Leaders Advisory Council, Matt Snell. Matt?
All right, so first I'm going to go ahead and introduce everybody that's on our council. We have Colton Crum, Isaac Hunter, we have Camden Caesar, Daniel Garcia, Chelsea Jones, Nita Harshman, Jada Redmond, and Giselle Gomez. First thing I want to talk to you guys about is we had to come up with a slogan for our group and all these projects that we're doing. And the slogan for all of us is celebrating the past, embracing the future. We really want to put a focus on, looking back at Frankfort's history and seeing what we can learn from, what we can improve upon to create a better future for Frankfort. So first of all, I want to talk about quality of place. So quality of place is where we're putting most of our focus in. That's why we're doing sculptures and things around the city to help improve our quality of place. We want to be able to bring people back to Frankfort. That's our goal. We're kind of struggling a little bit. We're trying to bring back Frankfort. We're trying to revitalize our downtown and our city. So that's the goal. Things we have done for Frankfort Future Leaders Advisory Council. We have met with department heads from the city to learn about different types of leadership and things that they do in our community. We have attended a Mayor's Youth Council Summit with other Mayor's Youth Councils within the state to be able to learn more from them and kind of hear what they're doing, but also share our ideas so that they can get a better idea of things to do too. Also, we've done some volunteering. We went over to TPA and painted some playground equipment, and so we're kind of trying to give back to the community as well. And a couple more things that we've done. We went down to IU and listened to Paul Helmke, who was once the mayor of Fort Wayne, and we also attended a servant leadership conference. And so all these things together have kind of been a work in progress for us over the past 4 years. Some of us were original members 4 years ago as freshmen in high school, and so we've really taken a lot of pride in this group and in order to move the city forward. So now I'm going to pass it over to the Vice President, Nita Harshman.
Hi, I'm Nita Harshman. I'm a senior at Frankfort High School and Vice President of Frankfort Future Leaders Advisory Council with Mr. Mayor McBarnes. So this group, to me, is much more than its lengthy title. It's a fantastic group of young innovators who I love to collaborate and who inspire me to better our community and make it a better place every day. One thing I especially enjoy doing in our Youth Mayor's Council is creating things that improve the citizens of Frankfort's everyday lives. For example, you may have noticed our new gateway signs to the city out by Suncrest and the fairgrounds. You can actually expect to see 2 more signs in the spring. The part that is extra special about these signs is that they were designed by this council. We sketched the designs and ideas that were brought to the table with unique themes in mind, such as our railways and agriculture signs, and handed the sketches over to Ben Suter. Then he expertly made a similar but more polished interpretation of the signs and presented them to us, and we then decided which ones we liked best, and then the signs were made. Being able to see that us, as youth in the community, can have an idea and follow through with it and see the result is so rewarding and impactful to us. Another piece of art that we made is an interesting bench, a hot dog bench in fact. You may have seen the unveiling at the Hot Dog Festival a couple years back. What is so special about this one is that there are little images that represent Frankfort on it, like Quesarina, and it's also a hot dog bun, so that one is pretty evident. The same design process occurred with the bench, where again we worked with the talented Ben Suter to help us turn the sketch into a real-life piece of art. And now, today, we will be revealing the Gym City sculpture. Before creating our sculptures, our group studied the history of Frankfort and went into Old Stony to learn even more about our community, and especially where and how Frankfort came to be, so that we can adequately represent the city of Frankfort in the best way possible. All of these projects we like to give the title Quality of Place. This is because it is our goal to improve the quality of this community and bring people back to celebrate the past and embrace the future of Frankfort, Indiana.
Thank you, Nina. Wonderful job. How about a hand for Matt and Nina? Great leaders in our group, and these two young people were actually elected by their peers to be president and vice president. I have all the respect in the world for them. Folks, our group couldn't survive, we couldn't have grown, and we couldn't have been born without support of many of you in this crowd. And so we want to take the time to thank you. So we have some certificates to hand out. We want to start specifically with NTK Precision Axle. Budgeting for this project, we believe that private-public partnerships are very important. That's the sweet spot in our community. That's how Ivy Tech was built, and that's how more projects will be built in the future. NTK Precision Axle generously donated to make this sculpture possible. So at this time, I'd like to recognize Debbie Spidell and Taka from NTK. Have you folks come forward. Let's give them a hand. A wonderful partner in our community, the cherry blossom trees you see around the downtown courthouse and out at TPA Park were generously donated by NTK. We appreciate you folks so very much and everything you do for our community. The next person we'd like to recognize is the man behind this, a great talent. He has Clinton County ties. Our artist extraordinaire, Ben Suter. Ben, where are you? There he is, he's right there. Ben, would you like to share a couple words? Ben cold called me about 5 years ago and said, Chris, if you ever have any art projects in Frankfort, let me know. And we've been tied to the hip from him ever since.
Sure. I'd like to thank Chris and all the men from the city just for this opportunity, and they've been top notch to work with. It's been great. And you're very fortunate to have them as your team working with you and for you. So I just want to say thanks for the opportunity, and it's been great working with the students here, and it's just awesome to be a part of the history.
Thank you, Ben. Well done. We have several other certificates to hand out, so I'm just going to start with Colton. And if you'd read the names, these are all people that have been so helpful in this process.
Frankfort Main Street.
Kim Stevens, is Kim here? Anyone from Frankfort Main Street? There she is. Thank you, Kim. Thank you.
And I also have Mr. Clarence Worthen.
Our city council, is Clarence here? All right, we'll make sure to get that to him. We want to thank our city council. Isaac?
Superintendent Mr. Don Ruiz.
Is Joel here?
I am.
Thank you, Joel. Stephen Beardsley. Does Councilman Beardsley happen to be here?
He's in Wisconsin.
Okay, so no, he's eating cheese right now.
Frankfort High School Principal Steve Edwards.
Principal Edwards, thank you, sir. Thank you, Steve. And we also want to thank Kirsten Clark as well. Kirsten, you're here, raise your hand up. Kirsten and Cindy Long were really at the precipice of this, made this all possible. So ladies, thank you so much. We love you. Even though you're a gopher, we still love you. All right, who's next?
Wanda Mitchell.
Councilman Mitchell here. Thank you, Wanda. Thank you.
And Eric Woods.
Is Eric here? All right, we'll get that to him.
And then I have one for the Community Schools of Frankfort.
Joel. Karen Sutton. Our school board has been so helpful in this process. Thank you, Karen.
James Moyer.
President Moyer, thank you, sir.
Assistant Superintendent Joel.
Joel, there you are.
I also have one for the Frankfort Streets Department.
Yes, is Jason here? Yeah, thank you, Jason. The street department was up here last night at 6 p.m., lifting this with a forklift, getting it put down, putting in the gateway signs. Jason, thanks so much.
I have one for Lewis W. Wheeler.
Councilman Wheeler? All right, we'll get that to him.
And Joe Palmer.
And we'll get that to Joe as well. So thank you everyone for your support. This wouldn't be possible without you. And Jim, from our standpoint, the City Council has made this possible. So thank you again. All right, folks, at this time, with no further ado, guys, let's gather around and all the members, and we can help pull this off and celebrate our first real piece of public art in the downtown, made by our youth. All right, let's give a countdown, and just pull it hard. Well, pull it towards the courthouse, maybe. You guys have been playing tug of war. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Woo! Folks, we thank you so much for coming out today and supporting the council. We've got big things in the future. We'll just leave it at that, okay? We're going to give you a teaser, but there's huge things to come, and these guys are going to help get it done. Guys, we love you so much. Thanks for coming out. Stay and fellowship together, and we'll see you soon. Thanks, everybody.